Hi, I'm Leather Rokk. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about other uses for common household items that you probably should have in a first aid kit, your bug out bag, or for any of your luggage that you're taking with you in case you have to evacuate in case of an emergency. So, some of the things you want to think about are if you are in some situation where you have to start a fire outside. Did you know that there are other things that you can use just besides lighters and matches and things? For instance, if you can strike a match, did you know that you can use some kinds of tape that you can actually make into a cone, and you can set them on fire and you can use them to carry from where you're at to maybe where you have some kindling or things, even though not all tape is suitable for that purpose. For instance, this electrical tape here, it says specifically flame retardant, so you probably wouldn't want to use that. But you could use masking tape, you can use some kinds of rug tape. Another thing you can do if you need to start a fire, you can use any kind of cotton source, even tampon. You can cut some of the tampon off, and then you have anything that's like Vaseline, put some Vaseline in with the cotton. That'll burn, I'm not sure for how long, but that will definitely give you a source of light, a source of fire, and something to light your kindling and different things like that. Other things you might want to consider to have along with you that have alternate uses. If you have panty liners or maxi pads, they're good to have in a first aid kit because they can be used whenever you have a whole lot of bleeding, and you can actually use a rug tape or duct tape, and you can use that to affix it to your body if you don't have heavy duty bandages. Now, something like a nice big bungee cord like this can be used as a tourniquet as well as for consolidating your luggage together. And this, by the way, I found the other day on the street and I washed it really well. And this is a nice strong one. You should really have bungee cords of all shapes and sizes. They really come in handy. Now, again, back to fire starting. You can use any kind of hand sanitizer that has at least 60 or 70% alcohol. This is a bottle of 70% rubbing alcohol. I can't stress enough the importance of having multiple ways to do certain things. It's called redundancy. That way, if say your matches get wet or your lighters are no good, being able to start a fire to keep yourself warm or to cook your food may actually help you to survive in an emergency, especially if you're out in the woods someplace. Even though I would really caution you on setting fires that you can't control, always make sure that you have some way of extinguishing fire. And I'm going to guess that you probably might not want to carry something heavy like a fire extinguisher, but it all depends on your personal situation. If you're traveling by vehicle, yes, I would certainly recommend having a fire extinguisher. Always check the label. Sometimes they have an expiration date, and a lot of times after you've discharged them once, you might not be able to use them again. So always look at the label. And now as I look at this thing is probably about 20 years old, so it might not even work. Another thing that I would like to discuss is more tools that you want to have with you. This here is an old box cutter of my father's from back when he used to sell ice cream on the beach. And these, now, don't try to sneak on an airplane with them, okay? But these are quite sharp, and these my mother used earlier today to cut up a cardboard box so that we can put them in recycling. But they're really good to have. You want to have different kinds of knives and put them where you would put, I would recommend them in a special compartment that has tools, like survival tools, where you would maybe keep a compass and different kinds of things like that. You really, it's never too early to start getting prepared. At least think about these things. Another thing I would like to discuss is ways to pack up if you have to evacuate. And I'm not talking minimalist here. If you're like me and you have a lot of stuff and you want to bring as much with you, you can put a lot more in your luggage than you think. Now, this might pertain more to the men, but not just for men. If you have suits, let me show you a technique that I have. Uh, I have a thing for suits. I wear them myself. And I have probably more neckties than a lot of men. But check out a way that I have figured out to have a whole bunch of suits in one garment bag. So set this down. Oh great, threw this on the floor, so that means I have to wash it. This one I'm about to show you is a garment bag that is full of lots of hangers of suits. Now, you don't have to just put one suit in a garment bag like this. And you see that it's the kind, this technique I'm going to show you only works if it's actually sealed on the bottom. But you can see that it's sealed on the bottom. And if, say, you have a lot of neckties like I do, what I would do is, first of all, I would take them off the hanger, okay, because that would add too much weight. Then, once they're off the hanger, put them right on the bottom here. You have so much room here. If you say you have a vehicle and you have room for lots of luggage and stuff, put your neckties in the bottom here, put your pocket squares here. Now, one thing that you should do that I didn't think to do is if you have colors ranging from light to dark, I would definitely separate them. And I started with the lighter colors in the back, and then I acquired this. And this really should have been in the back, but I'm going to do that later. I'm probably going to have to take everything out of this, put it on. Now, this probably feels like it weighs about 30 pounds. And as you can see, I kept the hangers on. You always want to have hangers for things that are going to wrinkle. That's always a good idea. Now, if you're like me and you like to go to nightclubs a lot and you're evacuating your club clothes and club things, I like to have a separate thing just for club accessories. This bag here, first of all, it has absolutely useless, very decorative face masks. You know, the kind they have, they're made of cotton and they have sequins and stuff. Have them here. What's in this bag is very important. This contains earplugs. You always want to have ear protection. Matter of fact, you should have earplugs. You should carry them regardless. They're not just for clubbing. You never know when you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be exposed to high levels of decibels, jet engines, lawn mowers, all kinds of motors. If you are near a firing range, or if you find yourself witnessing a gunfight, if you're around gunshots, they are loud. If anybody or any of you are firearms enthusiasts, you know that you're supposed to wear hearing protection when you're on the range. So, but of course they usually have the special over the ear goggles. But if you don't, earplugs. Always have earplugs. You never know when you're going to be annoyed by somebody could be cracking gum, or you just have earplugs. I mean, you save your hearing, because when the hearing loss starts, it's the upper ranges of hearing, the treble that goes first. So many grandparents can't hear their grandchildren because of hearing damage, and hearing damage is cumulative. You get it when you go out to concerts that are way too loud, the nightclubs. You could have neighbors that are crazy with the firecrackers. Always have hearing protection. But I really do like to set aside special club things separate. In case of evacuation, you want to have some kind of organization and a separation of the different clothing you use for different purposes. It's just really a good idea. It makes things much more convenient and more organized when you finally unpack wherever you're settling down. Another thing you want to have, if you are getting ready to evacuate, you want to have comfortable, sensible shoes. These sneakers, even though they have some bright colors in them, they're really, really comfortable. These were given to me as part of a birthday gift like 5 or 6 years ago. Also, you want to have a pair of sturdy boots, though I would recommend them being black or brown or something that's not white that would get dirty. But these are great because they have cushioning, they have ankle support, they only have a little over an inch of a stack heel, they're comfortable toes. Now, I would definitely not recommend steel-toed shoes because in the event that you're too close to traffic, I have heard of a lot of people that get their toes cut off or broken because what happens is the heavy weight of a truck or something, if it rides over and you have steel toes, it can cause the steel to cut into your toe. So steel toes boots, be real careful about them. But you definitely want to have something that you can walk in if you have to walk for miles. Like, think of the people that are leaving Ukraine. Some of the people, they had to walk for between 10 and 30 miles to get safely to the border. So you want shoes that you can walk in for miles and miles, that you can run in if necessary. It's never too soon to start thinking about these things. If you're packing for other eventualities, I really recommend storing different kinds of shoes separately. I have a box that's just high heeled shoes that's set aside. Those, I notice I don't wear high heels all that much, but when I do, it's nice to have them separate. And the shoes that I'm wearing right now are flat, and they can double as slippers, and they actually have real leather uppers. They're by a company called Rouge. And aside from the pointy toe, which probably will limit how long I could wear them, but shoes that have more than one purpose are really good. They can be slippers when you're visiting a friend's house, and they're low on the ground, easy to run around in, even though, again, a white color wouldn't be good if it's muddy and it's dirty outside. So, but try to use these ideas and other similar ideas, and it just will give you a little bit of an edge if you have to leave quickly. Have your stuff organized, and it never hurts to be careful. Okay, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, do subscribe. Hit the bell so it looks like it's ringing, and that way you won't miss anything I post. I will talk to you in a couple of days. Stay safe, go America, and I support Ukraine. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.